Okay, so for today's video, I decided to use the tripod because I'm kind of tired of holding the camera, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to have a tripod and not use it. So now there's more of me in the shot. You can see my awesome t-shirts and all the other stuff that you didn't see before, because, you know, that's what I'm here to show myself off, really. That's all I do. So back from the con for about a month. Had a bit of a hard time motivating myself to do this video because there was a whole bunch of drama that happened at the con and I didn't really want to think about it at all. But it's more or less past for the most part, so life is getting back to normal. There was a few problems with props. For the most part, everything went really well. Can show you what I've got here. The props I did was I did my gun blade. I did Kyrie's keyblade for my friend Aki. We did Cappy's sword for Renji from Bleach. And I did a few things for Tifa's armor pieces, but those are pretty minor. There was also a little bit of work done touching up both the Buster Sword and the Cross Punisher, but nothing particularly interesting there. So first thing I'll show you is the gunblade here. Now, detach my camera. Alright, so here she is. Came out very well, I think. Not 100% accurate to how it is in the game, but all things considered, I think it looks pretty damn good. You can see there was a little bit of damage on the paint here. That was from this zip tie being on there. Not a big fan of piece bonding, but, you know, necessary evil, I suppose. Quite proud of how this turned out. Getting close, you can see there's a bunch of crap all around it. Just residue from, cause what I did is I traced the picture onto contact paper, put the contact paper down, cut the design out with an X-Acto knife, pulled it off, painted it, then pulled the contact paper off. But contact paper left residue that I wasn't able to get off. Although all the pictures I've seen of me, it doesn't show, so should be fine, not too worried about it. Wasn't able to get it on the other side. The other side's just plain. Trying to come up with some better ways to do that in the future. The dogs are barking right now. They need to shut up. Maddie! Maddie! Kamiko! Making a movie here. Shut up! Nothing to bark at. Anyway, we got a chain here. Just kind of copped out and bought a necklace. Technically, it shouldn't have this cross on the bottom. His necklace does, but his charm, I suppose it is, on his sword doesn't. And then I didn't bother to do a single chain. I just stuck the necklace on a little eye screw there. But looks pretty good, so I think I'll live. Yeah, so this was by far the most pleased with project I've had for a while. I think it turned out really good. Cappy's sword for Renji made me significantly less happy. Looks pretty decent. Way too thick, but that's because we didn't really have access to any materials that would be strong or thin enough for what we need in the time period that we had. The cool thing about this, you can see the handle we didn't finish that. We're going to finish that at the hotel room. Cool part is if you've ever seen Bleach, you know the sword comes apart. And so does ours. Let me go ahead and pulls out. And I can not really extend it all the way, because that's what happens. that was a bit of a major disappointment. Could have been really cool. It could have been like that, but no. Everything was going really well. Then we got to the hotel room, and it broke. So the only people that saw its amazingness coming apart were some people standing outside of the hotel when we were walking in. Other than that, nobody saw it. Little disappointing, but... So, those are actually the only props that I've got here with me. I'll just show you some pictures of the other stuff. Like I said, we did the Kaiser's Keyblade. Turned out really well. Although I think one of the best parts about it I didn't even do, so I can't take credit for that. The flowers on it turned out really well. My friend Aki and, well, friends Aki and Alyssa did that, so props to them. Excellent hot gluing of flowers. Not to make that sound demeaning, it really does look good. Like I said, there's Tifa's bits. Turned out really well. I don't recall at the moment if I've mentioned anything or much about the Sintra that I used in this channel. I'm not really going to take the time to go through and look at what I've done already. So if you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about when I say Sintra, then post a comment or something. I don't really want to go back and look. Kind of lazy that way. But that's what we made. One piece of the armor, and the other piece we made out of Wonderflex, which is kind of cool stuff. I don't have any on hand to show you. It's like a heat moldable plastic with a kind of a fabric embedded in it. And it's heat moldable at really low temperatures too, so, or relatively low I should say. Like we did it with a hair dryer, and it worked out pretty well. The nice thing is that it bowls really well, which is what we needed it to do. So that's what we used for Tifa's weird elbow plate. I don't know really why she has that. She had one of the least practical designs of any character. It's kind of weird. Also, she has a little plate on her boot. That's what we use the Sintra for. I'm not sure what that's there for either. But, you know, Tifa has boobs, and, you know, she's there for fan service most of the time. Yeah, I did say that I was going to have the Katana video up mid-September. Turns out I lied. I didn't have it up. I'm actually going to be, if plans work out, making those and filming it tomorrow. Randy and his brother John are coming over, so you'll also get to meet John. I'm going to try and work in more and more of my friends that do this stuff with me. Get them some airtime on here. Yeah, I should have that up soon. Again, this is if plans hold. Randy, not the most reliable guy, so we'll see if he manages to make it over here to work on that. Yeah, other than that, I've got a few projects that I'd like to work on, a few cosplay plans for next year, doing more stuff with my Warhammer. I'm actually waiting for some glue to dry on some magnets. Maybe do a video on that later. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, kind of just rambling here. Not really good at knowing when to quit. Can't think of anything else. It occurs to me, now that I just filmed this, that when I say tomorrow, I mean tomorrow for me, but since I'm going to be going to school and then to work and then probably play StarCraft and go to bed, I won't get this uploaded until tomorrow, so hopefully, if all goes well, when I upload this, that day we'll be making swords, and then you'll see it later. But it's not really relevant. I'm not sure why I decided to point that out. Yeah, that's all. Oh, so, a quick funny story. I have a coworker, Sam, who was telling me the other day that she was going on this date with this guy, and that this guy was nerdier than I am, and I laughed at her. I believe my actual reaction was something like, I think you seriously underestimate how nerdy I am. She didn't seem very convinced. I don't think I pointed out at the time that I just got back from a convention where I dressed up as a video game character. I'm not really sure how you can get more nerdy than that. Other than maybe LARP. I think LARP may be considered nerdier. Not really into LARP. Not that I have anything against it, so maybe that does put me in there. I don't know. I think the moral of the story is I'm really, really effing nerdy. Alright, one more thing. Totally spaced to mention that I'm going to be posting another video here either later today or tomorrow. That will be just kind of a slideshow of pictures from the con. The way you can see the Keyblade and the Tifa's costume, and some other stuff that I didn't have here, as well as just other general pictures from the con of us in costume acting like retards, mostly. Yeah.